it is, it's notoriously awful. It is awful. I mean, really, really not good. Oh, that was close. That was close. Not quite. Not quite. We're okay. Biodome. A gooder though for sure. I haven't seen Biodome in ages. That's fair. If you're unable to talk about Biodome, I forgive you. But I can talk about it. I've never seen it before ever, I knew what it was. I just sort of never wanted to. I knew I knew it would make me angry, and it did sort of make me angry. So if you know me, I rarely give lower than 5 out of 10. I'm warning you right now. I'm giving this one below 5 out of 10 because it fucking sucks. Okay, I'm sorry if you like this movie. I am, and you're allowed to like it, but I'm allowed to hate it. So we're gonna get into why it sucks. So first of all, Pauly Shore. Let's just talk a little bit about Pauly Shore. So I watched Encino Man. It's good, but he's a supporting role on that movie, and that's my theory of why it's better. It's Brendan Fraser and Sean Ashton and Pauly Shore. You got the threesome of the camaraderie working off of each other. Pauly Shore's much more tolerable like that. When he's the main focus of the film, and he's just going, or whatever, the weasel, whatever the fuck that fucking guy says. It's just it gets too much right away, almost always. But there's other movies I've seen, House Guest or Guest House, whichever it is. It was okay. It wasn't great, but it was a little better again because it was working with other people. And then to the opposite of that, I watched a movie on YouTube. Pauly Shore is dead. He is indeed the weasel. Is it worse than Black Friday? Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. I kind of like Black Friday. I didn't hate it. Did you not like Black Friday? Some people didn't like it. I kind of like Black Friday actually. But no, yeah, definitely worse than Black Friday. Like a lot worse. It's gonna get lower than 5, which is, I think I gave Black Friday like a 6, or maybe even like a 7. I don't remember though, honestly. But it's on the internet, so we can always go back and check. Yes, he is the weasel. But yeah, no. I was on a tangent. He did In the Army or something like that, which is pretty bad. Yes, I reviewed In the Army now, and I think that's one of the few movies that I've also given below 5 out of 10 on here. It's shitty. It's a shitty copy of Stripes. And I don't even like Stripes that much. I'm not saying Stripes is bad. It's a million times better than In the Army now. But as far as Bill Murray films go, Stripes is meh. But yeah, In the Army now is way worse, obviously. Black Friday sucks so bad that it's good. I don't know, it sucks in a good way. Okay, I get you. I get what you're saying. It's so bad it's good kind of thing. Well, that's sort of the feeling that it was going for. And I love those kind of movies, those sort of bad, cheesy horror comedies. And that, obviously they have Bruce Campbell. I could have used more Bruce Campbell in that movie. But I did like the idea of all the zombies coming together and making a giant zombie kaiju. I'd never seen that before, and I definitely thought it was a little original. So I give it some credit for that. But anyway, back to Biodome, which we haven't really got into yet. I'm still doing like the pre-show about just talking about Pauly Shore. So I really quick, I want to talk about Pauly Shore's Dead, because I kind of liked it. It's sort of like a fake biopic of what if Pauly Shore faked his death and shit. And it's not great, but it's better than Biodome and any of the movies that I've seen with just him as the main guy. To be fair, I haven't seen Son-in-Law, and I haven't seen Jury Duty, but I heard that those aren't great. I don't think any of them are great. Apparently each movie, like after Encino Man that came out with Pauly Shore, each one did like financially worse than the one before, until Biodome, and they finally stopped, I think. But anyways, we haven't even gotten to Biodome yet, so let's start talking about Biodome. And let's look at the budget first. Biodome film budget. Because if I look up just Biodome budget, it might give me the actual Biodome. Because it's a real experiment, by the way. I didn't mention that yet. Um, budget. Oh, here we go. Biodome. 8.5 million budget. Oh, so it made like a little bit. It made a tiny bit of money. Biodome. It was only $8.5 million budget. And it grossed 13 million at the box office. So it made a little bit of money, cause it had a low budget. So good for it. Good job, Biodome. But still, it's not great, you know. But anyway, back to talking about Biodome, which I haven't really yet. So this basic premise is the Biodome, which is this big dome. It's this big dome covering up different environments. So it's an experiment where they're trying to contain environments and make it live in a hostile environment. Because they're in Arizona, where this biodome is, and they have all these like tropical plants and rainforest ecosystems they're trying to keep alive, basically. But what was I gonna say? It's all covered by the biodome, and yeah, like they would take that. The idea is that they take this technology, if it worked, and then put it on Mars, and like you'd have a bio, and you could live on Mars or the moon or whatever. That's like where the experiment was supposed to be heading, and this is a real experiment that happened, but it failed. But it's a real experiment. All the plants died. It didn't work. They couldn't keep everything alive in the hostile environment, basically. In the real experiment called Biosphere, by the way, which is kind of funny. Biosphere, Biodome, ha 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 ha. But yeah, we have the Biodome. What was I gonna say? The experiment failed. All the plants died, and they went crazy. That was the other thing. They went stir crazy. The scientists. So it was failed. But they learned, they learned a lot at least. So that's good. But back to the movie. So that's what's happening in the movie is these scientists are trying to go into this for 1 year into this biodome, this contained facility, airtight facility. Keep that in mind, because I'm going to talk about that in a sec. This airtight facility with all these plants, but Stephen Baldwin and Pauly Shore sneak in because they think it's a mall, and they go in because Stephen Baldwin has to pee. And yeah, it's pretty stupid. So this movie is super annoying right from the beginning, pretty much till the end. There's like a couple bits that are kind of funny, a couple bits that I was like, but nothing substantial. And there's way more groaners than positive, solid laughs. You know what I'm saying? So it starts off right away with them being obnoxious. Pauly Shore going like, I'm the king and you're the peasant or some shit. And he like hits Stephen Baldwin in the face with a book because they want to get out of cleaning up Earth Day, because of course these absolute idiots have smoking hot girlfriends that care about the environment. You can't talk about this movie without talking about the Tenacious D. Tenacious D are in this movie for like a second, and it's almost like it's maybe the best part of the movie, but it's like it's a tease. It's a tease because it's so fucking short, and this is the first time they were on film ever. And it's like fucking having like really good sports players and not putting them in, for lack of a better analogy. It's just, I feel like if you had Kyle Grass or Gas, I forget which it is, I'm sorry, and Jack Black, and you put them in Stephen Baldwin and Pauly Shore's roles, this movie would have been at least watchable. And yes, I watched it, so technically Biodome is watchable, but it was hard. And I feel like if I didn't have to review this, I wouldn't have done it. I did it for you guys. I did it for you guys. But I did, like I said, very few parts of this are kind of funny, but it's very much more of a groaner to watch. But moving on with the film, So yeah, Biodome. Oh, and there's some gross bits like Stephen Baldwin chewing on Pauly Shore's toenails. There's the gross out humor is not doing it for me. It's just nasty, man. And it's just they're wasteful. They're in this biodome, and it's established that there wasn't enough beds. Okay, we gotta. There's so many like plot holes that I don't think I can even remember or talk about all of them. But let's talk about some of the main ones. So they're in this biodome, and they sneak in, like I said, right? Because they thought it was a mall, and Stephen Baldwin had to pee, but they couldn't just open up the biodome for a second, and be like, okay, guys, get out, and then restart the timer and the experiment. No, they couldn't. Like, what? Oh, the machine doesn't make any sense. And I want to look up right now what homeostasis means. It's okay, Stevie, don't worry about it. I'm going to look up what homeostasis means because they use that as a term of what they're trying to achieve, like the cleanliness of the environment or something. So what does homeostasis mean? Let's look this up. Meaning, because I'm curious. Homeostasis, the tendency toward a relatively stable equilibrium between independent elements, especially as maintained by physiological processes. I guess that's close enough. I'll give it to them. I'll give that one to you, Biodome. Close enough. And I don't know enough science to say that that's wrong. Homostasis when Stacy makes up with Stacy. Oh, by the way, real quick, people, if you have any spare booty bucks, please give to the nipple challenge. We're only 56% of the way there, and we got 10 days left. So yeah, it would. If we're gonna make it, please give them booty bucks so I can draw 100 nipples on my body with now washable markers that I bought. Anyway, back to the review. The fact Pauly Shore was even popular remains one of the most unfathomable mysteries of human existence. Well, Hugh, it's not a mystery. His mom owned the Comedy Cellar, one of the most notable comedy clubs in the world. So, yeah, that's probably why he got his start and got on MTV by just being an idiot and doing on the street stuff. But at the time, like there wasn't much stuff like that with people being stupid to people on the street. We have like Eric Andre and stuff now. But like, to be fair, he was the first to do that trash, but he didn't do it well, but he was the first. Thank you for giving to the nipple challenge, my father. Shut up and draw nipples. We can't yet because we're not there. Do you not understand? Like, I feel like I have to explain this every time. Thank you for giving. But we're not there yet. Other people have to give to the challenge. We have to actually succeed at the challenge. But anyway, we're still talking about Biodome. So what else? Yeah, this movie is just so stupid. So different plot holes. I talked about how, it doesn't make sense why can't they just start the experiment again when they sneak in? It doesn't make any sense. And yeah, he pees in the waterfall and it brings down the homeostasis, but then they bring it up and they act like the homeostasis is so hard to control, but yet they seem to do it easily done. Lots of stuff doesn't make sense. And part that's so dumb in this, but it's kind of funny, and it's a plot hole, but I feel like this is a plot hole that like they meant to do. They knew it was dumb. So this supposedly airtight biodome, Stephen Baldwin and Pauly Shore at one point have been exiled into the desert portion of the biodome because they've, been assholes and fucking with all the science and annoying the scientists and shit. So they got exiled to the desert. And they're like, oh no, we're gonna die in the desert. But luckily, this window just happens to have a key in it. And they open, it's a door, but it's a big glass door because it's the biodome. It's a big glass dome. They just walk out. Someone just left the key in it, and I don't know how many months. They must have been supposed to be in there for so many weeks or months, and they didn't notice that fucking key. They didn't find it. Like what? Anyway, it doesn't make any sense, but it's kind of funny. I'm starting to think Pauly Shore movies may not always be scientifically accurate. I don't think so. I think this is our number one source material for science facts. I remember having a chuckle watching Son-in-Law, but I was 15. You see, most people that have told me that they have good recollection of watching a Pauly Shore film is Yeah, I liked it, but I was like 7, so I don't know. Maybe it was trash. So there's that wonder, right? When I ask younger people if they're familiar with Shore, they usually say no. So I'm like, mush together Muse and Sandler and add some Nope. That's fair. Biodome, but it's an Alex Winters movie. Oh, did you know that it was actually supposed to originally be a Bill and Ted sequel? That reminded me of that. Biodome was originally supposed to be a Bill and Ted sequel. Yes, this is true. It was scrapped and turned into Biodome. Yeah, no, look it up. I swear to God, it's real. But then, it whatever for whatever reason fell through, and they're like, okay, let's make it into something else, and just throw in Stephen Baldwin and Pauly Shore. Other people that were up for Pauly Shore's role include Harland Williams. And actually, I forget who else, but Harland Williams is the guy. He's Tom Green's friend in Freddy Got Fingered, and he's the main guy in Rocket Man 1999. Not to be confused with the Elton John biopic. Maybe I knew, but it's been 50 years. It's okay, Stevie. It's okay. Your new job is drawing nipples, son. Okay, I would take it. You know, if it made enough cash, I'd take it. Anyways, I am running out of stuff to say about Biodome. So let's look it up on Mother Lovin' IMDb and look at the cast. Because there's other cast to talk about. Oh, real quick, let's talk about how this movie is mildly homophobic, at least mildly, maybe more so. So Stephen Baldwin is a hardcore right-wing Christian boy, and pretty sure he's not a fan of the LGBTQ community. Pretty sure he is homophobic himself. And there's shit in this movie where the line where, oh, the Biodome, oh, you wonder if it goes ways, if you wonder if it goes both ways. And then Pauly Shore's like, I don't know, but we do. And then they go to each other and go, blah, 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 but don't touch each other's tongues. And to me, that's just like sort of they're clearly, it's just they're cracking a gay joke. And then to my point, later on, there's a joke where the girls, their hot girlfriends, are like, oh yeah, these guys are hitting on them and being dicks. And they're like, oh, you homos. And then like quite a bit later, she says, sapiens. Bad joke. But no, just a mild point I wanted to make, fuck this movie for multiple reasons. Stephen Baldwin seems like an ass. 1996. I need to track down B and T cartoon. 96, that's right. Maybe I knew, but it's... Oh yeah, I already read that. Okay. I am running out of stuff to say, but it has a low... Actually higher than I thought it would be. Biodome is 4.5 out of 10 on IMDb. Let's look at the cast. So, the cast, who plays hot girlfriend. Okay, William Atherton. William Atherton, he also played the skeptic and the guy who's trying to shut down the Ghostbusters in Ghostbusters. I forget that character's name. But this guy played Dr. Noah Faulkner. He becomes the villain. He's one of the scientists, but he becomes the villain towards the end of the film. And then there's Stephen Baldwin, of course, as Doyle, and Pauly Shore as Bud. But we have Kylie Monique, or Minogue. I don't know if I'm saying that right. My goodness, as Dr. Petra von Kant. Wait, who were their girlfriends' characters though? But about the bodyguard, no. Oh right. Monique. There's Joey Lauren Adams. Okay, and Teresa Hill. Right. So Joey Lauren Adams is in lots of stuff, but most notably Chasing Amy. Joey Lauren Adams is the main romantic lead in that. And also Teresa Hill's in stuff too. Let's click on her real quick. I feel like she's in stuff. Boom. She was in a Hercules movie. And Van Wilder. And Models Inc. So she's done stuff. Maybe not the best career ever, but, better than some people. But damn diddy. All right. So that's about it. Okay, yeah, that's a bit late for that joke. Yeah, right? I agree completely. I think I know what you're saying, Stevie. Okay, bow down. I hate, like I said, this movie sucks. It's not good. It's just the characters are annoying. The plot, like, has so many holes, and it's just not funny for the most part. Like I said, maybe a few mild chuckles here and there, but not worth the price of admission. It's so annoying. Anyway, let's give it a bad rating. How low should I go? Pretty low, I think. This movie sucks. So let's put on a beat while we do this. This is from Turn Up Music SK, and it is called Skateboard to the Beer Store. Alright, Biodome. I'm gonna give it two. It sucks, okay? Two, this is one of the lowest. This is one of the lowest ratings I've ever given. But it made me angry. It made me mad. 2 out of 10 ducks. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. Biodome sucked. Deal with it. If you liked it, you liked it. It's okay. You're allowed to like it. I'm allowed to think that it sucks. Okay. 2 out of 10. Okay, that's that. Biodome. 2 out of 10 dogs. And you all know what time it is now. False. According to Winters, Biodome has never had anything to do with Bill and Ted. There's no time travel or history lessons. Okay, I've heard that online, but perhaps they got their sources wrong. OG Snackman says, LOL. I think this is the lowest. 2 out of 10. Yeah, it sucks. And that's, for me, like, I don't think... Actually, that's not true. The lowest I've ever given is a movie that actually a lot of people like, but I really hated it. I hated it. The Godzilla 2014. I hated it. It made me so mad. All the fight scenes were in the dark. They killed off the best character right away, Bryan Cranston. That movie I gave 1 or 0 out of 10. I gave it the lowest rating. But yeah, yeah, shout out Darren Wizard, still fucking in here. Thank you so much, buddy. Darren the Wizard is so cool and a wizard. Okay, anyway. Yeah, it's one of the lowest for sure. It's up there. Or down there, however you want to look at it. But yeah, let's make sure we're... Okay, yeah, but I wanted to address this again, Stevie, about the Bill and Ted thing. Okay, yeah, I must have heard that. I definitely heard it in a review of it. And more than one review of it, and they said this. But I believe you. You must have found out the true facts. Because videos can be wrong. But to at least... I'm pretty sure the Biodome, though, like the building, was used in one of the future scenes in one of the Bill and Ted movies. So there is some relation, a little bit at least. I think one of the sets is the same, at least the outer set. I think. That's also something I saw in a review, so it could be wrong. But they showed the pictures next to each other and it looked the same. So I don't know, you know.